Oh my god, she had pee everywhere. Oh, I thought she was sweating at first, then I realized, nope, that was pee. I've never done it, either on a swimming tip either.
I'm Liz Adams. I'm from Rye, New York, and I am a CrossFit coach slash athlete slash rapper.
Jay Adams from Rye, New York. I am the regional manager for Rhinico Fitness. I sort of wear a lot of hats.
People think we're dating.
For the last
It's weird.
almost 5 years that I've been doing CrossFit now, I've ran into people who assumed that we were dating because we don't look anything alike and we're always together at the gym. Usually just tell them it's my sister and then wait to see the look on their face. We're like, oh, you don't look anything alike. Like, you don't say. Usually joke that I'm the more attractive, tan, handsome one, and
Got the looks.
yeah.
I'm gonna do muscle-ups again. I wanna do it one more time.
Liz is probably, one of the most dedicated people I know. Very fiercely loyal and dedicated to whatever it is she decides to commit to.
We need a place where we're all training together. That whole thing we talked about that Sunday. 3, 2, 1.
There's not a ton of time that she spends away from thinking about or doing something in that sphere,
My relationship with Jay, he's my best friend. I try to train with him every day. It's a little more difficult to train every day together because we're at different gyms now, but we train together at least 4 or 5 times a week. I like that. I like training with Jay because he's going to push me in ways that other people can't push me.
That was hard.
It's like a healthy competitiveness that we have together. I don't get like super upset. I don't feel threatened by him. He's going to beat me in a lot of the stuff that we're training and we're working on, especially like the gymnastics stuff, and it's kind of pushing me to try to keep up with him, and he's beating me in a lot of stuff, whereas last year he wouldn't because he wasn't as in good shape as he is now. I think it's pretty even on like wins, losses, Jay versus Liz. There's certain things he's always going to beat me on, and there's certain things that I'm always going to beat him on, and then there's toss-ups.
Yeah.
You think it's even? You think you beat me on most?
Well, there's also, you have to account for...
Like rowing, he has an advantage.
I have an advantage in any of the monostructural row or bike if the calories are even. Right now, in open workouts, I won the first one by 1 rep, basically, and she won the second one by 1 rep. So...
2 down, 3 to go, but all the gymnastics movements are out of the way, so... muscle-ups are left, and he'll beat me on... Okay. I got a good shot.
3, 2, 1. No! I started too fast!
I think Jay and I have always been like really competitive since a young age in any sport we were playing. And our parents never like pushed us to do any sports, but that's what we kind of attracted to early on, and he played football and hockey and I played basketball, and we were pretty accomplished athletes throughout high school and him in college, and I think both of us were looking for something competitive to do after our respective careers ended, and CrossFit was kind of the channel that allowed us to be competitive again. And I'm competitive whether it's doing CrossFit or playing a card game. It's kind of a flaw in that degree. I don't know how to kind of like reel it in sometimes.
I hope 15-3 or 15-5 is a repeat.
I was gonna say, that's
Too fast.
if I can do that like that.
Oh, that was hard.
So I think in the beginning my parents were like hesitant with CrossFit because it was like taking up so much of our time, and I got like really into it, and then Jay got really into it, and then we both started working in CrossFit. What?
I brought you to CrossFit. I did CrossFit first.
Okay, Jay got really into it, and then I got really into it because of Jay, excuse me. And then I started working in CrossFit, and then Jay started working in CrossFit. My injury, my parents were like, you can't do this anymore, this is dangerous. But then they realized it was a freak accident, and they both support us now, and they know it's our passion. And where I don't think they're going to start doing CrossFit, I definitely think they are happy that we found something that we love and that we're doing that. I have 8 plates in here. 8, yeah, I think 8. 8 screws and 4 plates, 8 screws. I had a complete spiral fracture of my humerus bone. So right down the middle, completely snapped in half. I was my first year doing CrossFit. I somehow figured out how to do a muscle up. I was doing it definitely wrong, and I went to dip out, and it just snapped in half. I think I had to grow up a little, and this was the first time in my life where I wasn't able to do something that I wanted to do in a sense of like athletics. And I'd never had to like watch from the sidelines while other people got to do what I kind of was passionate about doing. So that was really hard. And I definitely felt sorry for myself for like a week and cried on the couch and just sat there. And then I gave myself a week, and I went to the YMCA and sat on my stationary bike for like an hour each day, and just thought about big picture and trying to focus on, just getting better. My favorite Olympic weightlifter, I like Jenny Arthur. I did the American Open 2 Decembers ago, and I was absolutely floored when I saw her lifting weight, because I wasn't like super knowledgeable about the sport. Jay knows a lot more lifters than I do, and I saw Jenny Arthur at the American Open, and I was like, oh my God, she is about to clean and jerk like 300 pounds. That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And then the Russian lady that came to visit us, Tatiana, I'm not going to pronounce her name right, but I could have watched her for hours lifting weight, and she lifts way more weight than Jenny Arthur. She's also way bigger, but still, it's so impressive, so impressive.
My favorite is probably a Russian super heavy named Chingiz. And he can snatch like 200 plus kilos, but that's also about body weight, which is why it's so awesome. It's one of those sports where I don't really have a favorite. Obviously you root for like Americans to do well in international competition, but I don't have a favorite per se. It's still a relatively new sport in the grand scheme of things for me. It's just one of those things where you like watching the best do it, not necessarily rooting for one person over another.
So my kind of outcome goals, so my longer term goals right now, we're in the middle of the Open, so it would be placing top 20 in the region in the Open, which means I would qualify for regionals. And then my goal at regionals, if I make it or when I make it, would be to do better than I did last year. And then eventually, obviously, like I would love to go to the CrossFit Games. That's definitely something I think any serious competitor thinks about. But I think this year I'm a little more, I can't really control what happens, but I can control the process of it or the journey of it and what I can do, and just focusing on that, and whatever ends up happening happens. If I never make the CrossFit Games, it really doesn't define me as an athlete. So I think I have a much better mindset in terms of what I want and what I do this for.
For someone I always joke that if we qualify again for regionals, I will be the longest competitive and with a big asterisk, longest competitive CrossFit athlete who nobody knows who I am.
He says this every year.
It'll be my 5th year at regionals. I've come close to making the games with the team twice, in fourth place in 2014, 5th place in 2013. I've qualified individually before, and I've reintroduced myself to the same people year after year. So no, I don't think I have any haters.
Better not fall. Better not fall.
My hands don't want to sound pretty good.
Yeah, if you don't have haters, you're not popping. That's for a rap lyric. There's like some explicits in that I just edited on the fly because I am a rapper, but the line is, if you ain't got haters, you ain't popping.